Yeah, a very good afternoon, everybody. So we have the semester two students making an introductory presentation on W.B. Yeats as a poet and two poems. The second coming and another one is on being asked for a war poem. We have a group of five students making a presentation today. Khushi Goswami, Nishtha Desai, Mansi Joshi, Devangini Vyas, and Shatakshi Sarvaiya. So, yes, now the group is invited to make your presentation. You can start your presentation. Uh, you have to mute the digital sound output in the classroom now.
Hello everyone. Good afternoon to all of you. Today, me and my friends are going to introduce about the William Butler Yeats poem, "The Second Coming" and "On Being Asked for a War" poem. These are a table of contents. Introduction. William Butler Yeats was a major figure of 20th century, and he was born 13 June 1865 and died on 29 January 1939. He was the first Irish Nobel laureate in literature in 1923, and he was deeply influenced by symbolistic aesthetics and romanticism, and also he deeply influenced particularly in theosophy, mysticism, and primate his work. He was played a significant role in the Irish literary revival and co-founded the Abbey Theatre in Dublin, and also fostering Irish culture and political renaissance. His poem started from romantic and symbolistic beginnings to more modernism and philosophical themes. His other works are The Tower, The Winding Stair, and The Easter. So these are from my side. Now, for further information, I would like to invite Mansi.
On Being Asked for a War poem is a poem by W.B. Yeats, written in 1950. It's one of Yeats' shortest well-known poem. This poem is just 6 lines and sets out why Yeats chooses not to write a war poem for publication. This poem in response to a request by Henry James that Yeats compose a political poem about World War I. Technical advancement, psychological impact, global and digital context, environmental impact, postmodern techniques, modern symbols, these are elements reflect modernization. So, context of this poem. The poem suggests that in troubled time like wartime, poets should remain silent and not attempt to influence political decision or guide statement. Poet's role. So Yeats believes that poetry is not meant to revolve political or social issues. Instead, its strength lies in bringing comfort or pleasure to individuals. And he also put example in his poem, like a young girl enjoy her leisure time, or an elderly person finding solace on a cold night. Tone and meaning. The tone is reflective and slightly resigned. The poet acknowledges the limitations of their craft in practical matters, but emphasizes its value in personal and emotional experiences. Rhyming scheme and rhyming words of the poem, here I mentioned in my slide. So this is the 6-line poem which is written by Yeats, and this is the rhyming words and rhyme scheme, and is the ABC. Figures of speech. So enjambment. So some poets use this enjambment in their poem. So here Yeats uses a poetic advice that occurs when a sentence or phrase continues from one line of poetry to the next without punctuation. Metronymy is a figure of speech that replaces the name of an object or concept with a related words. So this is from my side. I want to invite Sarvaiya Shatakshi. Hello, good afternoon everyone. Today I present one being of Ask War poem theme, the role of the poet. Rejection of a propaganda. Yeats refused to write a poem that promotes of a particular political agenda of ideology. Second is the artistic integrity. The poet states of the importance of maintaining a strict integrity and the not compromising on vision for ask of political expediency. The nature of art and creativity. Third is the timelessness of art. Yeats suggests that true art is a timeless and universal transcending, and the informal nature of politics. Fourth is the power of imagination. The poem highlights the poet's ability to capture the innocence of the human experience throughout the imagination of creativity. The relationship between art and society. First is the tension between artist and society. Yeats' poem illustrates the tension between the artistic desire to create authentic art and social expectations on a produced work that serves a political purpose. Second is the artistic's responsibility. The poem raises questions about the artist of the responsibility to engage with the world around them, while also maintaining their artistic integrity. The human condition. First is the human experience. Yeats' poem touches on the universal aspects of the human experience, such a youth age and the search of meaning. Second is the importance of the empathy. The poem encourages the readers to empathize with other regardless of their political belief of afflictions. I would like to call Nishtha for my further information.
So, I am dealing with the poem, the second coming. Turning and turning in the wandering chair, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. Falcon is the name of bird which I mentioned in the image here. Falcon, it means bird falcon turning in the sky, and chair means shape of his flying like a round shape in the sky, and falcon not listen. Falconer, it means his guide in the land, and falcon on the sky, but the falcon do not listen. The falconer sound, things fall apart, the center cannot hold, mere anarchy loose upon the world. Bloom dimmed, tide it loosed, and everywhere it means everywhere the poem was published on 1919, and it was time of World War One. So W.B. Yeats described the situation of the World War also in those lines. Everywhere is blood. So this event Yeats introduced the ceremony of innocence. It drowned the best leg of all convention, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. It means the worst person, it means the bad person become more bad, and the good person lost their morality and goodness in their nature. nature. So opportunity to bad person to become a more bad. And then surely some revelation is at hand. Surely the second is coming hand, the second coming. So now the poet want to say that the second coming, it means the second coming about the good things, because now all the bad things are running here. Hardly are those words out when a vast image out to spirituous mandi. Spirituous mandi means the image, it's a combination of both image, body of lion and sun, a body of man and uh, animal and man, both have connection here. Troubles my side somewhere in sands of desert. It means animal who traveling in desert, and then a shape with lion body with head of man, a gaze blank and pitiless as an, it means gaze means his eye, its animals eyes is like gazing to like a sun. It means like sun's sunlight, gazing to anyone. It's moving, it's slow things, while all about real shadows and indignant desert birds. And it's around the desert birds and desert birds annoying him. Then the darkness drops again, but now I know that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle, and what rough beast it's our come round at last slouch toward Bethlehem to be born. It means here the poet again ask about all the bad situations and bad things, and here the concept of Jesus. 2000 years later, the period of the Jesus, and Bethlehem is a place when Jesus Christ was born. So now the concept of Christianity the poet adds here, because it's a time of Jesus Christ coming, and I want to like another example to share in the Bhagavad Gita. The shloka was yada yada hi dharmasya. It's all also about this, and in here the poet talks about the Christian concept, the second coming, the Jesus will come. So this is from my side, and now I would like to call Devangini for further information.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm dealing with themes of the second coming. First one is chaos and destruction. The poem begins with a vision of a chaos and destruction, symbolizing the collapse of order and the rise of anarchy. There are key lines. Next one, the gear and the historical cycle. It introduces the concept of a gear, representing his beliefs in historical cycle of growth and decay. Next, the second coming and apocalypse. The poem foretells the coming of a new era, characterized by apocalypse, visions, and the emergence of a monstrous figure. Loss of faith and spiritual crisis. It reflects on the spiritual crisis and the loss of faith experienced by a society during times of upheaval. Violence, prophecy, and meaningless are the major themes foregrounded in the poem. The present world is falling apart, and a new omnious reality is going to emerge. Yeats uses a prophetic language to describe the arrival of the new age. Conclusion. To conclude, W.B. Yeats remains a timeless poet whose works reflect a deep insight into war, spirituality, and human existence. Through our analysis of On Being Asked for a War Poem and The Second Coming, we explored his powerful themes and artistic brilliance. We hope this presentation has dependent your appreciation for his enduring legacy. Here is our references, and thank you.
Okay, so we are. Uh, am I audible there? Yeah. Okay. So good. We got an introduction to the poem. Uh, uh, One simple question that I would like to ask, if anybody from the group would like to answer, anybody from the five of you, when this poem we read on being asked for a war poem, uh, is the meaning of the poem to be taken literally or ironically? If you want, I can repeat it. Can what we see in the poem, is that meaning to be taken literally or ironically? Yes. Anybody from the group would like to answer it?
As per my review, uh,
You can see it and answer also.
your voice is mute. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Please reply.
As my perspective, we can take in what sense, because literally he refused to talk about this war, and we can see some modern elements also, and we can compare with the idea of art for art's sake. So in both term, I agree with literary and ironical.
Okay. We end this live stream here and we carry on with the discussion in the class.